Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. So we are now using the main channel here. The strike is now off my channels for I don't know how long, but I don't want to jinx it just yet because we have two special, exciting guests. We have Aaron and Tyler with Journey to Truth. So they are putting on a conference in Grafton, Illinois, coming up in about 10 days. And we're going to go a little bit more into the conference, and maybe we can go into some of the guest speakers. But how's everybody doing today?
Going great, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, pleasure to be on.
Okay, great. Thank you for coming on too. And thank you also, listeners. You know what? If you want to go throw a question in there, listeners, feel free to add something in the chat if you'd like to. So let's go ahead and start with this conference. So we've got the Secret Space Conference is going to be taking place May 2nd to May 5th at the beautiful Pere Marquette Lodge. Hope I'm saying that right. And conference in Grafton, Illinois. The event will have many SSP whistleblowers, researchers, ex-military, physicists, hypnotherapists, and more to help build a strong case for the reality of the secret space program. I will also be attending this event to speak more about the Super Soldier Alignment Programs off-world and some of my own experiences. All tickets include a meal plan, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffets, Monday through Thursday, live stream link, access to all the speakers and everything that the conference has to offer. VIP tickets and meet and greets are a thing of the past. Every ticket is VIP. Enjoy entertainment from musical guest LaLA Deaton. You're going to have to explain who that is, but we'll go on that just a bit. Along with nightly skywatches, bonfires, vendors, and more, as well as hiking trails, and supposedly there's a Sasquatch roaming around in there. But anyhow, lodging. Oh, okay. So the lodging is sold out, but there's an Airbnb nearby, and as well as hotels, and there's also a campground right next door. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money on the lodging, it's probably about $110 a night or so. You can try the campground. So yeah. Be sure to go to the website secretspaceconference.info to get your tickets now. And is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
I think you said it all. No, yeah,
Yeah.
So guys, I realize it's right. It's only 10 days away, something like that. It's right around the corner, so it might be a little late to buy an in-person ticket and plan a trip last minute like that. But take advantage of the live stream passes. It's really going to be awesome. I've been working a lot with the live stream guy, and he's putting a lot of pride into it and passion. So it's going to be a very unique live stream experience. And so take advantage of that if you don't want to miss out on the conference. And if you feel like driving up for a day or two, we do have day passes available for $66. So if you think you can make it, but not for the whole time, come on up and you can register at the door for a day pass. And if you do decide to come and you want to coordinate a ride or plan, accommodations with somebody, we have created a Telegram chat also, which actually, James, I'll have to give you the link for that Telegram chat. But if anybody wanted to hop in there and make some plans with somebody else or possibly roommate, they could do that.
Excellent. So at this moment, how about we go into some of who are the guest speakers there? The first name we got on the list is Tony Rodriguez. And according to my notes here, Tony Rodriguez spent 20 years in the SSP. He was taken at the age of 10 and taken to China Lake Naval Base and then Vashon Island under the CIA's Project Grill Flame MK Ultra training program, where also another guest speaker on the show, Joseph Powell, said that he was there. And from there, he was taken to the Moon, Mars, and Ceres. So, do you have any other information on what Tony is going to be speaking about specifically?
I don't know. I think his book just came out, which is phenomenal. I highly recommend everyone read that. Aaron, I think you've read it, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Everyone needs to get it.
Right. That's a great book. But I think he might be touching on some of his book and some aspects of his experience that he hasn't shared yet. But I really don't know. I can't speak on his behalf, but I know every time he talks, it's amazing, and there's always new information. So,
all right. So the next guest speaker on the list is Jackie Pierce, and I've actually I guess what a little information I know about Jackie is that she worked with USS Ark Corp, and that stands for the Universal Solar System Antediluvial Recovery Center Corporation, which is a planetary corporation off-world with most of their facilities on the big moons of Saturn, bases on Mars, and other locations as well. So this is a sister branch of Monarch, and USS Ark Corp is 12,000 years old, where Monarch is 6,000. So the good news is that they're not causing much problems here on Earth, but they're basically a bad corp. They're involved with creating wormholes, bending time and space, the same goals as Monarch. There's about 65 million participants, including ETs, crossbreeds, hybrids, and humans. They are seeking to create a superhuman civilization with no defects. If you are weak or defected, they are isolated and killed. The idea of eugenics was imported here from Ark Corp. They're also part of the galactic slave trade. So Jackie was tasked in the science lab to analyze some type of worm. I think it was some kind of worm-like creature with a chicken type head, and it had apparently it was a very benevolent with a high consciousness. It was like a sentient creature. I mean, to us we may think it looks kind of crazy, but this entity was, she was experimenting on it, and she was forced to do this. So I don't think, even though what I just described sounds horrific, but apparently she's not necessarily aligned with all that. All right. Is there anything else I should add about Jackie?
I don't think so. I think you covered it. And a lot of these people, every guest that every speaker we've had has actually been on our podcast before. So anybody wants to check out their interviews, they can go back to go check out Journey to Truth podcast and go through our library, and you can find interviews with every one of the speakers. All
right. So let's go to here is Daryl James, who was the king of the Tajitans. So Daryl discussed about his of course, he was recruited into the SSP. His military career began in 1999 when he joined the Navy to serve in the Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 7, where he served in the Middle East, as well as 2 years of service at the JMF, which is the Joint Maritime Force, Royal Air Force Air Force Base at St. Mawgan Base in the UK. During this time, he escorted executives into the underground portion of the base, where he encountered gray extraterrestrials and exotic technology which could scan his bio signs. He also encountered Michael Aquino, people in cages, and had an argument with a reptilian that resulted in forced slavery punishment in the mines of the moon, where he was forced to swap bugs on Mars. So from there, he was granted, I guess he spent some time in Darkfleet and finally granted citizenship in the German homeworld, where he had a German wife, and which apparently never happens for Americans. And then he also he talked and then if you get to, I don't know if he's going to go into it or not, but he spent I don't know how many years he spent on the so did he say how many years he was on Tajita?
He did. He has said, I don't remember exactly, but it was a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Okay, so basically what happened on Tajita, which is like one of these Palladian homeworlds, he was granted, he was allowed to be king for a short period of time. I mean, it might have only been like 2 days or 2 weeks, really brief. And the reason why they did that is because the early stuff that happened to him when he was on the moon, what they would do is do these honey traps. And there's like almost nothing to do on the moon, except maybe you could stare at the wall or go to the brothel. So a lot of these kids at the brothel were taken to planet Earth and used for a drug that rhymes with a popular Google browser. So his children were basically being utilized in this manner. And then when he got to be the king of Tajita, that because the reptilians were now harvesting royalty, that was an act of war. So essentially the whole thing was to allow them to get involved in our conflict, because these ETs, they have these contracts. And unlike here on planet Earth, a lot of our leaders don't follow their own agreements. They actually do. So so be curious to learn more about Daryl James.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, so let's see who is on the next on this. Suzanne Spooner. So why don't somebody go and tell us a little bit who Suzanne is, and I'm going to try to see if I can share my screen so we can get some pictures.
Okay.
Tyler,
Yeah, I'll do it. So Suzanne Spooner is a hypnotherapist, actually, QHHT therapist, quantum healing hypnosis, and she has been working with another guest speaker. We're going to have Mark DeMizio for 6 years now, helping him recover his memories. So they're actually presenting together at the conference to kind of show what it's been like for Mark to be recovering all of his memories from one source through Suzanne. And it's a really interesting dynamic, them two working together and the revelations they've had together. And I think they're going to talk about some of that process, what it looked like. And then they're going to Suzanne's going to get into more of the healing process and how she helped Mark through all this traumatic stuff, because a lot of this stuff is very traumatic. There she is next to Mark in the middle of the screen there with the blonde hair. Yeah, and she's I have not had a session with her, but apparently she's a fantastic hypnotherapist, and you can book a session with her at SuzanneSpooner.com.
Yeah, guys, keep talking. I'm trying to pull up Mark's bio. Oh wait, here. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So okay, next the next guest. I have way too many windows open here. Okay, Mark Domizio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, was recruited against his will by the U.S. Navy and handled and drugged and then inserted into a clone body for his 20-year career program at the SSP Diego Garcia base in the Indian Ocean. During this time, and I believe it was actually the underground portion, not the dome that goes under the sea.
Correct.
During this time, he was forced into slavery by the Black Navy, which is the land crew for the U.S. Navy and Dark Fleet. He was tasked with missions in abduction and kill squad, which did not go as planned as he attempted to escape. He also recalls interactions with SSB experiencer Will Glover, Shawana Shirley, Shawana, I don't know who that is, but anyway, James Rink, and Joseph Powell. He was then sent to solitary confinement for a year and sent to Dulce base for experimentation. After this point, his alter Hans 085971 was created and used as an enforcer and as a solo assassin. At the conclusion of his service, his memories were erased, and now he's beginning to overcome the trauma as he bravely decided to come out to share his self-awakening experience. So, yeah, be sure to check out Mark as well. Let's see. Anyone want to add anything to that?
Just a brave soul. He really, his testimony involves a lot of traumatic stuff, and he did not have a good time in the secret space program. So we thank him for coming forward and exposing what's actually happening, because, you know, a lot of this stuff sounds fantastical, but there's a lot of slavery and torture involved, unfortunately. So he's got a really touching story.
All right. So does anybody want to chime in about Laura Eisenhower? For those of you who do not know.
You can go ahead, Aaron.
All right. Let me find a bio.
What?
Or do you just want me to say what?
Yeah, no, yeah, just, I mean.
But she's the granddaughter of the president Eisenhower.
She's the great granddaughter, right?
Great granddaughter or granddaughter?
Yeah, great granddaughter.
Yeah, she's the great granddaughter of President Dwight Eisenhower. They tried to recruit her for take her to Mars in 2006. Who her boyfriend at the time, who she later found out was like her handler and set up to recruit her for that. But luckily she resisted. She was able to escape that, and then she became a whistleblower for that and like my lab stuff. And she's an intuitive. She's
astrologer.
She's very tapped in many ways, and she is a wealth of esoteric knowledge. I know she's good friends with Lisa Renee. So she's learned a lot from her, and I think like Ashiana Dean as well. So she has a lot of that kind of like very deep esoteric knowledge, and really knows the depths of kind of what's going on this planet. And she speaks about all that a lot. And she's just a beautiful soul, and she knows all about the SSP stuff and kind of ties that in, you know. So she's a great person to have at this conference to help kind of like, it goes along with the SSP information really well, and then it gives a nice broad bigger picture of, you know, to place all that in context. And so that's why I'm really glad. And she's just a beautiful soul. So
right. Yeah, that was
there.
Well said, Aaron.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, so let's move down the list here. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I was utilized in the Secret Space program as a super soldier. I've done work for Kruger, Monarch, Umbrella, and I've also been utilized at Montauk. And I'm going to go a little bit in my speech, I'm going to go into Project Surrogate. And I have some information on the programs that had to do with MK Ultra seed projects like Equalize and Abandonment and Bleak. So I'll just go ahead and give you a little rundown here. So first of all, Project Surrogate is where they insert you into a surrogate family to be raised as the parents would raise the child as their own. So obviously my family is not too thrilled every time I come on here and talk about being part of Project Surrogate. But maybe they threw a little bit of DNA in there from my parents into me. I really don't know. But my records, it started off, I mean, I'm not going to go into too much of how all this started, but let's go back to maybe 2010 or 2009 when I first started becoming aware of this. I started working with some guy who could do some remote viewing because I was actually getting needle marks, injection marks on a daily basis, and I continue to get that. And these drugs I believe, are meant to erase my memories. But trying to research that, I started working with Michael Spindler. And by the way, I think he might have actually committed suicide since, because I can't get a hold of him. I know he had a lot of problems and issues with some of his experiences, but he was probably one of the most gifted remote viewers I've ever worked with. He was so talented that he not only gave me my address, he gave me my social security number, he gave me my clone ID number, my Cybis and Arbis clone ID numbers, and as well as some of these projects. But my date of birth shows being blacked out, and it just doesn't. That's when Project Surrogate came in, and I realized, well, the reason why my date of birth is blacked out is because at some point they changed me out. I don't know if it was in vitro. In my book, I go into some of the more bizarre aspects of this where they actually may have switched me out when I was 3 with a lookalike. Well, I'm the lookalike rather, but it's something that it's not something I really enjoy talking about because I don't want to, sound like I'm crazy. But on the other hand, these are what the information that is showing that took place. So as far as these other 3 projects, seed projects I mentioned, this actually came from a contact I had over at Oak Ridge who was kind enough to pull my records at DOD. And DOD basically shows I'm not in the system until you get to Umbra 8. So at Umbra 8, a record shows up, which is 8 levels above top secret, by the way. And since I didn't sign any oaths, so I can share this with you. But Project Bleak was 92-99. It's this MK Ultra seed project carried over from the 70s that dealt with recruiting young males in the average older than the average operative, late teens, early 20s, to monitor and see if certain trigger words or objects can be used under certain social situations. Project Abandonment is basically taking defunct super soldiers who are mentally or physically incompetent for projects and using DNA modification injections, later nano injections on the candidate in order to see if these individuals were correctable. If these candidates improved mentally and or physically, they would be moved to super soldier alignment projects and begin trip seeding and alteration standards. Project Equalize was 99 to 2004. This project was a carryover from an earlier project dealing with possible starseed children. Candidates would be checked for genetic mutations in alien DNA, such as 2 hearts and enhanced kidneys. I'm not saying that's what I have, but that's what they would, giving you an example. I don't know what my records actually show what's different about me, but essentially I'm not a normal human. Also, other enhanced organs would be useful for a super soldier. Certain aspects were found favorable to the super soldier project. Then the candidate would be sent to a specific department for alteration program sessions, and a caseworker would develop a specific program for the candidate. So there you have it, equalized. I'm going to pause. Do you want to make a comment?
Right, just looking forward to your talk and getting to hear some aspects that we haven't heard before. So yeah, looking forward to it. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, so I just want to mention, as far as Project Abandonment being a defunct super soldier, the kids in my group that were being groomed were being subjected to, of course, the MK Ultra, and we were supposed to be totally programmed to go in the direction that they want us to. However, I never cooperated. They would program me and I would just not do it. And they couldn't figure out why I was not cooperating. They kept, and it was it was like an obsession for them to figure out how can we control James. And I guess ultimately they figured out by cloning me out, creating cyborg bodies and utilizing me in that way. They could control me that way. But, so that's why they considered me a defunct super soldier, not because I was horrible at being on an extermination crew, but because I was not cooperating with anyway. And I had to pay for that dearly, but I go into that in the book anyhow. So let's move on to the next guest. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Who you want to go to next, Rebecca?
Yeah. So I do have her bio. Is that okay if I read my version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, Rebecca did come. She came on my show. On it looks like August 2020. Okay, so at least one time. She's been on a couple times, but okay. Rebecca is a multi-dimensional galactic experiencer working as an energy intuitive seer and channel. As a lifelong abductee, she was taken to work in the dark government programs as a child, a path that was facilitated by a father's top secret military clearance. Through abduction and trauma-based mind control, torture, she was used in hybrid experiments, off-world battle testing, genetic harvest, as well as mind-to-mind interface, gathering intel from various extraterrestrial races. She was the first sent to the moon and then Mars, where she developed into a cybernated, cloned, and weaponized asset. Her service continued on Planet X, where she was owned by the Draco. Rebecca's strong meditation practice and devotion to spiritual development are what supported her return of her memories and putting her pieces of her life back together. After awakening to deeper mission, intuitive abilities, and psychic vision, Rebecca also realized she had a vast array of helpers from many different realms assisting her. So her website is Rebecca Rose Barfoot, BARFOOT.com. Rebecca Rose. And I guess this is one, yeah, REBECCAROSE BARFOOT. And she also has a YouTube channel too, and Sirius Blue.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah, yep. She has an amazing YouTube channel where she's been slowly sharing step-by-step bits and pieces of her testimony as she remembers the stuff too. And it's really, she really has an amazing story, just like everyone else. And she also has, she does energy healing and sessions. So you can book a session with her, and she does some amazing work.
Okay, so someone's gonna need to chime in for Jermaine. Jermaine, what's his last name?
Chavez. So Jermaine is not an experiencer that he knows of the SSP, but he lives and breathes disclosure of the SSP and ufology, anything that has to do with the subject. He might be one of the most passionate researchers that we know. When I say he lives and breathes this stuff, he really does. He is the most serious person I've ever seen about disclosure, and he is not going to stop until we get it. So he has done a wealth of research, connecting dots, and he's aware of all of the presenters and more. And he has he's just doing some really amazing work lately, and he's taken it up to the next level. And he is going to be. This is actually going to be his first time presenting live. He's always he's never spoken at a conference. He's always behind the computer screen, just going live online. But we've been watching him for a few years now, and we've become friends with him, and he has some amazing stuff to say. He deserves a stage, and we decided to give him a chance to just go share his information. So we're really looking forward to him.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we all look forward to see what he has to say. Okay, so let's go to Kate. Was it Kate Buckley? Right. Yeah. What's her background?
So she is a hypnotherapist specializing in past life regressions, but she has, through time has encountered, learned about the Secret Space program, and she started working with some people who've had experiences, including herself, and she is really great at what she does. So, and her presentation is gonna be specifically on hypnotherapy, because there's a lot of people that are going to be at the conference that are there because they're having memories. They want to know how to recover their memories. She's going to give the ins and outs of hypnotherapy, how to do it safely, what to do, what not to do. And she's probably going to share some of her story as well. So that's her story. That's what she's going to be speaking about.
Awesome. Great. Well, we're all looking forward to hear her presentation. So I've got Johann Fritz's information here that, so if that's okay, you want me to go ahead and read?
Yep, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Johann Fritz was in the Marine Corps, and he was picked up from Diego Garcia and recruited into the Secret Space program as a Kruger officer at LOC, Lunar Operations Command. And that's not the only name it goes by, but that's what we're going to call it for now. From there, he was transferred into the Mars Defense Force, MDF, and later Nachtwaff and Extrasolar, where he has done a total of 40 years of service and eventually made it to the executive level management aboard the USS Patton, CEO of the Franklin, and another ship for 15 years. Johann is able to remember more than other experiencers because he was able to resist the MK Ultra programming that I guess we were all put through. And this, so I got his okay, I'll read this. His contact email is johannfritzssp@protonmail.com. So we're all excited to hear what he has to say. And of course, Johann and I worked together on the SSP 101, which was the video went viral. I think it probably had close to 300,000 views. And that's when YouTube started hitting me with a hammer. Speaking of the hammer, yep. The hammer's the device they use to wipe your memory, but now they're wiping the channel. But I had to take a lot of basically everything from Coco era, anything Coco era, because so many of my guests had dreams about this and this and that, and they were hitting me with so many strikes. So I had to, unfortunately, that video is now over at Rumble, by the way. So go subscribe over there, please. Anyway, but yeah, it's a great interview. SSP 101. Yeah,
that was fast. I mean, it's like 3 hours, 4 hours long. It was quite a video.
It's pretty telling to me that a channel like yours would be deleted or censored by YouTube. Because it's like, what is that saying about the information? If this is all like fantasy nonsense, why would they be censoring it? Doesn't make any sense unless it's real.
I think what it is, the topics that we discuss confuses the AI for YouTube. So the AI is geared to attack, obviously, certain mainstream topics, but sometimes my channel veers into the mainstream. But some of this crosses over, like, for instance,
like the 17 information.
Yeah, well, they're connected with the Alliance and Space Commands, but we can't talk about 17 on here. And then we have the the drug factories that rhymes with a popular Google browser, where they would take the children. I say our children. I don't know if they took my children there. I hope not. But Daryl James said they did for his children. So, and by the way, I do have kids out there, but I never will go into that, and I'm probably not going to discuss that much publicly. But yeah, so let's see here. Who is there? Anything else? Does anybody else want to add anything else about Johann Fritz?
I will say that him and Jody are doing a presentation together. So I guess we'll just segue into her. That's his wife, if anybody doesn't know. And so they have memories together in the programs, going all the way back to childhood. And they are going to be sharing their testimonies. And then I really don't know exactly what they're going to be talking about, but it's a really fascinating story, how they met and the recognition they had. And they both had memories from the same experiences. So it's a really unique story. We haven't really seen this yet in the, there's been a few people who have met each other that remember each other from the programs, but they have an incredible story. They're great people, and we're really looking forward to their talk also.
Excellent. Yes. I know they make a wonderful couple together, and I've talked to Jody. I know Johann. I know both of them very well. Okay, excellent. So how about we go down to the entertainment? What do we got here? Here. Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay. Okay, that's showing up.
We can see it.
Yeah, Matthew
Morning.
So what's his specialty and background?
Aaron, you might be able to explain him better than I can.
Let me find his bio, because he has a very specific way he describes himself.
Well, he does. Yeah, while you're looking for his bio, so you're looking at the screen, Matthew Morning and Ivan Teller, they're both going to be, they're not presenting, they're just going to be there doing private sessions. There's going to be other people doing private sessions also, including some of the speakers, but Matthew does a lot of energy work. Go ahead and read his bio. Right?
Yeah. So Matthew Mornian is a multidimensional energy healer, a professional psychic reader specializing in the removal of energetic manifestations, implantation, entity attachment, parasite infestation, and most importantly, blocked emotional energy in the human body. His mission is to assist with the activation and integration of the multidimensional intuitive healing abilities that exist within each one of us.
Right.
So that's what he does.
Yeah, and he does really great work. And I've had a session, maybe two sessions with him. I highly recommend it. Especially if if you're an experiencer and there's some negative things happening to you, book a session with him, because sometimes we don't even know we need things that need to be cleared up, or that we have things that need to be cleared up. So, he does really great work. And then Ivan Teller, he is simple, ET channeler. He's just a channeler of all sorts, ETs, different consciousness. He's some of the most intriguing, most fascinating information I've ever heard has come through him. He has a YouTube channel, just Ivan Teller, I think, is the YouTube channel, but he goes live almost every day and channels some different person, entity, ET race, whatever the case may be, consciousness. Listening to him has really, really expanded my perception, and because he's constantly bringing through new concepts that we just don't hear talked about too much in the community or anywhere really. So it's really fascinating. It really gives you a broader perspective of everything. But he's going to be there offering private channeling sessions. And if you do want to book a session with him, have some questions ready, and you tell him who you would like to channel. Most of the time, I've found it's better to just get information straight from your higher self. And that's it. I mean, if you have a specific guide you want to channel, of course, but I recommend the higher self. And so he's going to be there doing that. And then we have our entertainment, LaLA Deaton. She's a songwriter. She's well known for writing the song "Where We Go One, Where We Go All," and she's from Nashville. She wrote that song, and she kind of just blew up and did a patriot community. She has one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. and she's played at a few different conferences I've been at, and when I saw her play, I knew that she was going to be playing at our conference because it's very, very powerful, and she has an amazing healing journey, amazing story also to tell.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. So how about we go? I guess here's the schedule. So it's a 4-day event. So why did you choose a weekday instead of a weekend?
Well, at the time, it was that venue was booked out forever, and I think that it was there was so many weddings because there was no weddings during COVID. So all of a sudden, COVID was winding down. So then the venue was booking all kinds of weddings. So we just took advantage of the openings that they had, and it allowed us to turn it into a 4-day event, and it didn't seem like it stopped anybody from coming. So we're expecting a pretty decent turnout, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we chose Grafton, Illinois, because it's a Midwest conference, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've heard people request or ask, how come there's never a conference in the Midwest? So we live here.
We're in St. Louis. It's the St. Louis Metro.
Right. Took advantage of it's not just close, and it's not just in the Midwest, but it is honestly a breathtaking sight. It's absolutely beautiful there. The vibe is amazing. The entire area, it's just kind of secluded. It's going to be a really special experience. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think we'll see any Bigfoot?
They have signs up all over the property and stuff. I don't know. I bet you there's people there who can see things. They might see something or have an experience.
All right. Well, so there you have it. So how many tickets left do you have, or do you want to keep that a secret or private or?
Oh, so this is a pretty big venue, and there's no way we would hit capacity. So there's really not a cap at this point. There's only 10 days left. So, I mean, if I would only expect a few more ticket sales anyway, between now and then, that's why I recommend the live stream pass for anyone who can't make it, or just people around the world, because I know obviously we can't travel overseas right now very easily. So, but there are tickets left if you think you can make it out.
All right. Well, thank you both, Tyler and Aaron. So again, go visit the secretspaceconference.info to sign up, and that's all in the video description. So how about we take a moment now and answer a few questions in the chat. Let's see here. There's just way too much stuff. Everybody that said something earlier, you're gonna have to just ask it again, because I'm not
right.
I got the chat. Grab my charger real quick.
Okay. Let's see here. So we got rooms are sold out. Camping Airbnb. Definitely can see Yeti. I think the conference isn't too far from the pyramid in Illinois. Was it
Cahokia Mounds? So there is a pyramid in Illinois. It's Cahokia Mounds is the site, but the Monk's Mound is the main pyramid. It has the same base measurement of the Great Pyramid of Giza. There's been giant skeletons dug up there. There's a Birdman tablet which was found there. So there's definitely some ET history there. The entire civilization vanished. Nobody knows they vanished without a trace. Nobody knows what happened to them. But there's definitely some amazing stuff in that area. So that's not far from. It's relatively close to the venue. If anybody wanted to come early or stay late and go check out that, Cahokia Mounds is definitely worth a visit.
All right, excellent. And of course, so this is right near St. Louis. So, yeah, I mean, as long as you don't go in the bad areas, you should have a great time. I suppose.
Exactly. Just stay on the road. Stay on the main path.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Any other comments? Someone was said here. I wish I could join just one day streaming, live stream. Yeah, excellent. Someone says here. Does anyone know? Okay, well, I guess we'll just leave it at that.
I will say also, we've been getting emails. People can't purchase the conference. Oh, we lost Aaron. It looks like. We've been getting emails. People can't purchase the conference T-shirt online for some reason, and we found out that twice now the conference T-shirt has been reported as offensive on Teespring. We have a hater reporting our T-shirt, and they've taken it down twice. But there will be T-shirts at the conference if you plan on getting one. It's a silly announcement to have to make, but it's the reality of the attacks that we're getting right now, and it's just kind of silly that Teespring even has an option to report an item anyway as offensive. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Thoughts on Farsight remote viewing confirming Tony R. story of Mars. So who is Courtney Brown? Is that who runs the Farsight Institute? I definitely think they have done some amazing work over the years. And I read one of the books. I can't remember the name of the book. I don't know if I have it sitting around here or not, but I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that they looked into it and were able to validate SSP whistleblowers' testimony, because I think it does wonders for the validity of this information, because remote viewing is used by our government, it's used by our military, and it's been used for decades. So the fact that these very credible remote viewers are verifying testimony from one of these whistleblowers, it goes a long way, and it's going to go a long way. So I think it's great, honestly.
Yeah, I see what you mean by I wanted to share my screen here to let people see the shirt, but yeah, it looks like a pretty cool shirt you got there. Great. By the way, who does your artwork?
That would be Aaron and I. He's designed a few shirts and I've designed a few. But yeah, it's just us. There's no one else,
Yeah, you do excellent artwork, and I love the avatar picture thumbnails you have for your videos.
That's my favorite part of doing the show, making the thumbnails. Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, I guess we're going to leave it at that since Aaron's gone, and I guess we'll all see you. Maybe not all of you, but hopefully we'll see all of you over there at Grafton, Illinois, May 2nd, May 5th. Get your tickets now at secretspaceconference.info. May you all have a great day, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye, everyone.
Good night, guys.
All right. Let's go ahead. Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.